What's going on, guys? Welcome to another one of Black Iron's battles. Today we've got a special 2 versus 2 multiplayer battle for you where I am teamed up with DahvPlays, and we are using the Greenskins, and we are facing off against Turin and Italian Spartacus, who are using the Dwarves and Clan Angren. Now, right off the bat, you'll see that we've got quite a bit of vanguarded units over here. We do have these Forest Goblin Spider Riders over here. We've got those Regiments of Renown, the Death Creepers. They've got Poison, Regeneration. We've got Mogrove's Magi Marauders. We've got Moon Howlers. And we've got Durkit Squigs. So if this doesn't sound like my normal army, you'll see that this is actually a random gen army. Meaning that each one of the 4 of us chose our race, and then we pressed random and didn't change anything. So no stripping of spells. So actually, neither DahvPlays or I think, got a caster. We've just got, you just take what you get and see how it goes. So it was definitely a blast to play these couple of games with Turin and Italian Spartacus and DahvPlays. I hope you guys enjoy them. Over here on the other flank, you'll see we've got the Thief Robbers over here. We've got Durkit Squigs. We've also got the Death Creepers and the Goblin Wolf Rider Archers. So if you see that, we've got quite a large Vanguard contingent. One on each side. We've got a ton of ranged units. So that means that for our front line, we really don't have a lot. Over here on the left for my unit, you'll see I've got a couple of fully upgraded Savage Orcs. We've got level 6 on these Savage Orcs here. We've got some Savage Orc Biggins, and that's about it. In my second line, I've got the Night Goblin Fanatics. I've got some Savage Orc Arrow Boys. We've got the Rusty Arrows, which luckily we got those to go with these Goblin Archers. We've also got the AP Loonies, some Nasty Skulkers, the Warlord's Boys, and we just have stuff all over the place. Here for our Lord, we've got Skarsnik there with Gobla, and we do have the Thief Robbers as well. So, I mean, besides that, we've got this Goblin Rock Lobber. So it's actually level 4. It's got a silver chevron there, and it should be able to do a huge amount of damage to those dwarves when they're just sitting still. Over here for DahvPlays, he didn't get as many units. He did get those units up on the side that we were talking about, all those Wolf Rider Archers and Goblin Archers and stuff, Death Creepers. But he's also got this group of 2 chevron Black Orcs. He's got a Goblin Big Boss on foot. He does have 8 Peak Loonies, and he's also got this Giant. Now, this Giant's going to be pretty big in this battle, I think, because it just has 530 weapon damage, and it should do a huge amount of damage to those clumped up orcs. Dwarves. We've got the Hammer of Gork here, which, together with this Goblin Rock Lobber, we've actually got an okay artillery contingent. We've also got the Warlord's Boys, some Savage Orcs, and he does have the Rusty Arrows as well. Finally, the last but not least, he does have 2 groups of Orc Warboy Biggins, and those are actually going to be really useful. Those are super great to get in an auto-gen army, so it's really good that he got those. He does have, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, he's got just a War Boss here, but he's got WAAAAAGH, and he should be able to do some damage even without potions. Here for Turin and Italian Spartacus, I believe that the guy over here, the regular dwarf army is Turin. So we've got, look at this, he's got Rangers with great weapons that are got two silver chevrons in them. He does have Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. He's got a group of Corridors, a group of Rangers, and so you see these auto-gen armies, they're just spread all over the place. He does have 2 organ guns, it looks like, and so he'll have to get a lot of value out of those, because those things are pretty expensive. He's also got these Peak Gate Guard. Those are those Regiment Renown Hammers. Those things are elite, and those things will be hard to kill. The Dragonback Slayers. He's also got a group of Dwarf Warriors, and it looks like he's got a second group of Rangers. So he does have 2 groups of Rangers. He's got the Quarrelers with great weapons, and he's also got some Iron Drakes. So besides that, Italian Spartacus also has 2 Flame Cannons. So they've got those 2 organ guns, 2 flame cannons. They've got a Goblobber. It looks like another flame cannon and a bolt thrower. So Italian's just got a ton of artillery spread across here. And besides that, he does have, Bugman's Rangers, the Regiment of Renown. He's also got Quarrelers, Flame Can. I mean, he's got all sorts of Rangers, and he's just got a ton of ranged units. Look at that. Over here on the left for his anemic front line, he does have 3 groups of Dwarf Warriors. So one of them is the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass Dwarf Warriors. They've got those flaming axes. They're pretty cool, but that is not a great front line for a dwarf player to have. So I know it's been I've been talking for a while because you know, there is a lot of stuff to talk about. There's a whole bunch of different units. You can't just say 4 of a front line. But these random gen armies are fun to play, and I think they're going to be fun to cast. So right off the bat, you'll see that we were able to just start engaging here. Both DahvPlays and I started coming in from the side, and we started just getting some shots off. You know, I really wanted to get in there and try to take care of the artillery. Once I see these Dragonback Slayers, I really do get worried. So over here on the other side, you'll see that Dav is kind of doing the same thing. He's starting to get in here. He's just trying to harass, kind of trying to distract these guys. Italian Spartacus doesn't fall for it. You don't see any big ammo wasted. And he's just trying to get in there and do some damage. Oh man, he does. Look at that. So he does manage to get Dirk at Swigs in there. Unlike me, I'm actually taking major damage. Dirk at Swigs are getting in here, and the Thief Robbers are in here, and he's already pretty much taken out a Flame Cannon, and maybe even 2. So it's going to be important for Italian Spartacus to get in there and take that out. Over here on the left, you'll see that we are all over the place. We are trying to get these ranged units to do some damage. You know, just get on the flanks and just kind of barrel in there. And I really was trying to take out these organ guys. So I thought I was going to get in here, but the Moonhowlers did get caught up on these Warriors of Dragonfire Pass. And the Dragonback Slayers were able to get in there and kind of pull off the Dirk at Swigs as well. So not really very many units got in there to that organ gun. Over here on the right flank, Italian Spartacus has dealt with that invasion of Dirk at Swigs. We've got the Swigs back. We've got the Teeth Robbers a little bit farther up. But, you know, Dav was able to do a huge amount of damage. And he's also done a good amount of damage to these Dwarf Warriors with these Wolf Riders and the Death Creepers up here in the front line. But it looks like they're about to take some huge hits. Oh man, look at those flame cannons. They actually did about a quarter, maybe a third damage to the health of those Wolf Riders over there. But they're starting to take huge damage here in the front line. I'm also starting to take a little bit of damage on the Thief Robbers. He has managed to get Dirk at Squigs, and he's gotten the Moonhowlers routed off. I was kind of able to get the Marauders and the Forest Goblin Spiders out, but I've taken some pretty heavy hits on my main army. So we were able to bring it around here to the right, and we're just going to be coming right up this hill, right into these guys. So I was really trying to distract them while we were able to double team, but my army came a little bit wider than I expected, but luckily for me, we have still had these artillery pieces just flinging rocks. So if you look here, we've already got 50 kills on this Goblin Rock Clobber. I mean, look at that rock just going in the air. And the Hammer of Gork's also got a bunch of kills. So we're finally starting to regroup. We're getting engaged. The Thief Robbers haven't really done a lot yet. But, you know, we're just kind of keeping them distracted. And we're really trying to just overload this one side and take out Italian Spartacus. So, luckily for us, Italian is bringing these Boar Boys in here. And as long as he can get him in the back and maybe tear up some of these other units, he's going to be able to do a lot of damage with those Boar Boys. You'll also see over here on the right that this giant is, I mean, he's taking some, look, he's marked by Altar, so he's going to take some extra missile damage, but he's still holding on, and he's going to, you know, scare off the Quarrelers. And if we can get in the back here, if we're able to get these Savage Orcs and all these different units here, I mean, look at all those arrows flying in. Once we get him, we're going to be able to surround him and really hold him down, because we just have huge units. If we look up here, I mean, we have some 2,200 units left to there, 1,100. And luckily for us, we do have some, we've got some armor piercing and different stuff. And I've got grouped up over here, just a huge wog coming in. These Warriors of Dragonfire Pass and these Savage Orc Biggins, they're going to go down really quickly. We popped actually the wog, and you'll see they're just going to start dropping while these artillery pieces just keep hammering in. So we finally regrouped over here on the left, and you'll see that my Dirk at Squigs are gonna, you know, charge in here in the back. They've gotten on these Rangers, but those Rangers are actually pretty strong, so they're able to hold up to my weakened group of Squigs, and they'll chase them off pretty quickly. But luckily, that's bought a lot of time for our Marauders and our Forest Goblin Spider Rider Archers just to keep shooting, and they're really I'm really trying to use them to just take out these organ guns. So if you see here, the health on these organ guns is down quite a bit, and Dav has charged his Squigs in there too, and we're just bringing mobile armies all over the place. I mean, look at all of this arrow fire just coming in. I mean, these Ulthar's Raiders are taken down. Davi's got his war boss charging through here in the back, along with this group of loonies and his black orcs. And so we're just overwhelming the flanks of this battle, and the balance of power is just way more heavily in our favor at this point. So they're losing troops quickly while we still got 2,000, and they're pretty much just spread out. And even though they're fighting to the death. I mean, if you look here, these Warriors of Dragonfire Pass are back to back. They're fighting off the greenskin hordes definitely, but I think the numbers are just finally going to tell against the dwarves. And I really do, for these auto-gen armies, you really do never know what you're going to get. So I think the fact that Italian had like 5 flame cannons or something almost, I mean, and we were able to get just like such balanced armies. I mean, you see here I've got the nasty skulkers in here, which is allowing me to smoke bomb Grand Brindle. So I mean, we're just going to keep trying to pick off units. We've got the Death Creepers in here. These Rangers are going to start going down soon. I mean, and every time a unit routes, we're just kind of bringing it back in and keeping it fighting. Dav is able to get around the flank here too, so he's fighting off the Dragonback Slayers, and against the AP Loonies and some Black Orcs, I think those Dragonback Slayers are going to have a hard time. Over here in the back of the army, you'll see we're kind of just really clumped up. We're just wogging it. The Rune Lord's in there using standard ground, but I really just want to take out Grand Brindle and the Rune Lord, and I really think that the battle is pretty much going to fall after that. So if we look from the top, you'll see that, I mean, he does have a group of Rangers. He's got the Warriors of Dragonfire Pass, and I mean, they're fighting off these you know, Mage Marauders and stuff. So I don't know. I think these units will probably rout off, but at the same time, we've just killed a ton of different units, and we're still in the back. We've still got Boar Boys, still in archers. You know, Davi's still got the Rusty Arrows firing here into these Rangers and the peak gate guard. So I mean, we're just doing major damage, and we're just trying to keep it together. Over here you will see that we've managed to get up to WAAAAAGH again, and you know, that really increases the melee attack. I mean, it makes it so that your guys hit almost every time. So with the WAAAAAGH up like that, we are able to do a ton of damage to Grand Brindle very quickly. We do have him surrounded, and I mean, look at Dav's Rusty Arrows still firing in there. I mean, we were just able to just sheerly overwhelm them with the weight of the hordes of the greenskins. Let's go ahead and get in there and check them out. I mean, there's these dead bodies everywhere. Look at just the sheer number of greenskins remaining, and that was just a great game. So let's go ahead and take a look at that post-battle wrap-up. So for my squad, you'll see, I mean, Skarsnik, he was in there battling, but it looks like he didn't even get any kills. But we did get a lot of kills, of course, against the dwarves with one group of nasty skulkers. So besides that, I was actually really surprised to get 78 with a group of savage orcs. We've also got some big ends, I mean, but they didn't even, you know, those savage orcs were just able to do some work, I guess, because of just the huge amount of chevrons they had. If we look here at the bottom, you see Mogrove's Mangy Marauders actually got 45, which is a pretty high number for Wolf Rider Archers, and 26 is not bad for the Rusty Arrows as well. So the fact that we were able to use those Archers to kind of pull down some units and distract, even though the T-Frabas and the Death Creepers didn't really do it as well as they could. I mean, you know, spread across, I think we were able just to distract, and we were allowed, you know, this rock lava was firing the whole time. So 70 kills on some of these guys. I think, you know, we were able to pick up the pace for some of those weird range units that I'm not quite used to using. For Dobbs' army, he did have 47 with the War Boss. I mean, he had 70 on these Savage Orcs, 70 on the Loonies. And I think just the fact that there were so many ranged units, 80 here, 128 on his Durkit Squigs. So those Squigs were like a game changer. I mean, they were the best unit out of both of the Greenskins. They should get an award. You know, the Boar Boys were able to get in there some difficult plays for sure. And I mean, overall, with our artillery and just the amount of just sheer units, I mean, look at that, it's 1,700 units. We had like 2,800 units almost together, and even though we lost 1,000, we still had, you know, 1,700 remaining. So it was just an overwhelming horde of bodies. For Italian Spartacus, you'll see here he got a Rune Lord for his main lord, no other lords or thanes or anything. He also got some dwarf warriors, the Dragonfire Pass, you know, warriors. He's got the Rangers. He's got a group of quarrels with great weapons, regular quarrelers, Bugman's Rangers. I mean, look at just the range contingent on him. He's got all of this, plus a bolt thrower, plus a Gobblobber, and 3 flame cannons. So this is pretty much a one-sided ranged army. If Turin didn't have an army that was able to protect him, which when we look here at Turin, he really didn't. He didn't have a big front line either. It is going to be hard to protect yourself against the sheer numbers. If they were against Chaos with low numbers or something, I think it'd be a whole different story. So for Turin, with the regular dwarves, he was able to get 51 with Grombrindal, 70 with each of his warriors, dwarf warriors. The Dragonback Slayers regimented around 163, so they were able to get in there and they tore up a bunch of Marauders and a bunch of those range units in the beginning. So between that and the regular fighting, they were able to do a heavy hits. Pete Gateguard made a pretty good showing with 78, but you know, they were, even though they had a bunch of kills here, 50 and 34. I mean, that Organ gun needed to have 200. I mean, these guys, you know, with the sheer number of units we brought, these guys, you know, would have had to kill 5 to 1 of their numbers just to keep alive. Almost, it feels like maybe just 2 to 1, but still. It was a great game to, you know, everyone involved. Thank you guys so much. DahvPlays, Italian Spartacus, Turin. I love playing with all these guys. It's just a blast. Check out their YouTube channels. They've all got them. Turin, of course, I'm pretty sure everyone's heard of. Italian Spartacus as well, with those great lore videos. DahvPlays. So, you know, check out everyone's channels. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe below for more great online content. I've got a couple more games I'm going to put up in the next few days with the same group of guys where we did some more 2 versus 2 random drafts. And this is Black Iron. And this has been another one of Black Iron's Battles.